Taylor, hello. Can you talk to me for a little bit? Hi, Annalise. I'm on my lunch break right now, so it's a perfect time. Well, listen, I'm over at your guys' house right now, and I have a few things to say about the state of the place. You're at our house? How did you get in there? Was the door left unlocked before we left? No, the door was locked when I got here. I have a spare key to your place, so I used that to unlock the door and get in. Huh? You used the spare? I don't remember you having one from us, though. Well, the last time you two went on vacation together for a while and left the house empty, you gave me the key so that I could check up on the place, right? Your cat needed someone to watch it. And so that's when your husband handed me this key. Is that so? I guess I kind of remember some of that. Does my husband still know that you're holding on to that spare key that he gave you? Because he told me that he asked for it back from you when we got home and never told me that you still held on to it. Well, I haven't spoken to him about it anymore, so he does not. But we don't need to worry about that. What I want to know about right now is what's in your fridge. You are working right now, yet you have nothing prepared for dinner in here. I usually make something up when I get home from work. I don't like having things sit in the fridge all day to be reheated for dinner when making fresh food is much better tasting. At least, that's what I think. You say that like you'll be home in time to make a decent dinner, though. But you're working full-time now and aren't back until 5 or 6, right? That means you're getting home at the same time as my son. Do you have enough time, then, to make him a good meal? Because I'm sure my son is pretty hungry when he gets home and doesn't want to wait on you. There are times where I make something in advance for us to eat, but other times I like to start cooking when I get home. And he knows that already, so he never bugs me about it. It doesn't even look like there's anything in the freezer either. What are you planning to make today? Today my husband plans on making something for us. We like to both cook on different days to even out the workload. And I think today he said he'd be going to the grocery store after work to pick some ingredients up for tonight. Huh? You guys are both cooking? Yes. Taylor, you've been making my son cook food for you guys as well? Yes, because both of us are working full-time jobs. What the hell do you think you're doing to him? Even if the both of you are currently working, the man and the woman have to do different things in the relationship, right? So that means you both have different workloads. Never make my son do any of the cooking or cleaning in this house again. It's your job as the wife to make sure that the men in the house get to have it easy, right? Well, this is something that both of us have talked about and decided on. So it's not like I'm the one forcing him to do anything like that. Rather the opposite, actually. He was the one that brought it up to me first that we both do the same amount of work at home. And he particularly said that he likes to cook as well, and I love that he does because his cooking is amazing. That has nothing to do with what's going on here. I allowed you to marry my son because I thought you'd do your best to support him and make sure that he's happy. So right now it feels like you've scammed me. But the two of us like to support one another equally in this house, so... Well, I don't like that! But this isn't your house, and he and I can do whatever we want in it without having you be there to decide for us. Today, you are going to be the one cooking dinner for him. Well, can I talk with my husband about that first? I mean, this was all his idea. Actually, why don't you talk to him about it if you're so upset that he's cooking and stuff too? Are you going to go against what your husband's mother is asking you to do? I didn't mean it like that. I'm just saying that you don't really get a say in what happens between us. And that whole idea of the woman always having to do everything for the men in the house is ancient. Ancient? Listen, Taylor, I'm not wasting all my time trying to explain basic knowledge to you. So you listen and do as I've asked, or else there will be severe punishments. Now, I'm going to have to come over every day from now on to check on you. Every day? I have to now, right? I want to make sure that every day you're making the most well-balanced foods for my son so that he can stay strong and healthy. I will not ever let you cook him some kind of frozen meal or anything unhealthy. So if you'd like to stop wasting my time by having me over every day, then start acting like the wife I want you to be and let my son relax. Hey, Taylor, do you not have any ice cream here? I haven't been buying ice cream for a little while now. Neither of us have been eating it lately, so there's no point in having it when it'll probably go to waste getting freezer burn. Then when you finish work today, make sure to buy some ice cream to bring home. And it can't be any of that cheap stuff, okay? I want it to be the most expensive stuff they have at the store so that I know it's good quality. And I ask that you buy 2 tubs of it. I want there to be enough for me as well, and my son deserves to have ice cream at all times because that's his favorite treat. Annalise, does this mean that you're back inside our house again? I am, but what does that mean to you? My husband told you to give him that duplicate key back, didn't he? Have you still not given it to him? What's wrong with me holding on to it longer? I'm your mother-in-law, after all, and it was him that gave me this key in the first place back when you went on vacation. And that was because we were both gone for a while and needed someone to check up on the house and our cat. But right now you keep coming to our house every single day, and you just coming in like that all the time is a bit embarrassing. I'm sorry, but you're really going to have to give that back to us and stop intruding on our lives, okay? And just tell me outright that I'm causing you troubles, okay? But look, Taylor, I'm not going to stop coming to your house whenever I want. Until you've proven to me that you can make meals for my son every day, and good meals at that, I'm going to have to keep coming to check up on you. And since you told me your concerns, I have been making food for him every day. I don't think I've eaten any of his cooking for a week now because of the changes you've asked for. I've even gotten all the things I need to make him some chili tonight for dinner. Ah, well, about that. I threw all the ingredients in that away. What? Taylor, are you really going to force my son to eat something as disgusting as chili? I took a sip of the soup you had already made for it, and it was gross. So gross, actually, that I had to get into your wine cabinet and take a swig from something in there. Is that right? I'd been making that since yesterday, and when I tasted it, the flavor was perfectly fine. And now you've gone into the wine cabinet? Annalise, I'm not sure which bottle you took a drink out of, but those are not cheap. And I had to drink that wine only because you don't know a thing about cooking. I don't even like wine that much, so I had to spit a lot of it out after. Your flavor palette is worse than that of a baby's. Ugh, I wonder if this is all because of how you were raised. You were only raised by your father, so you never learned the correct way to cook and how to know if it's good tasting or not. My dad always made me some of the best dishes in that house. And because of that, I have been able to learn a lot about cooking and how to do it right. I even took some classes in college for culinary arts so that I could be on par with my dad's cooking. Ha! You think that having learned about cooking from him will have made your palate any better? I think that your dad was just bad at cooking, and so your palate is skewed. Why are you saying things like that? What help does that do in our current situation? I'm sorry, but I'm not cooking food for you in my house, am I? So stop complaining about it all and just go home. None of this is affecting you in any way, so stay out of our business, please. Well, I'm telling you that I'm right here to help you do your job right. I've been thinking this about you for a while now, but although you are my son's wife, there is nothing about you that makes you worth being married to. So if you'd like me to start thinking differently of you, then maybe it's time you start doing things for me, too. Is this your reason for throwing out today's meal? That couldn't be my reason for it. Don't think of me as some kind of monster, okay? That is very rude of you. I went and tasted that food for your sake and my son's. I'm afraid of you feeding my son garbage, and garbage needs to be thrown out because it cannot be saved. But was there any point to throwing out the food and ingredients that I'd already put together for tonight? Even if you don't want my husband eating that chili, I would have still eaten it. I don't like people wasting food like that when the prices of it all are going up. If I weren't to throw it out now, I'm sure you would have forced my son to eat it when I'm not around. And my son is far too nice a man to tell you to make him another dish when the food you've cooked is so bad. So I just saved him today from having to worry about throwing up all over the dining table. Then why not next time you and I work together to cook something up for dinner? That way you can show me how to cook a proper meal, and you can see what your son says about it in person. Why should I have to cook with you? My husband tells me that my cooking is delicious. I hear from him every time that he's happy with what I cook, and he says thank you for it. So I want to see if what you help me make is any better. I've noticed, though, that you always head home right before my husband gets home, right? Well, if you're so confident that my husband doesn't like what I make, then you throw it out in front of him and see what he thinks. I have a job of my own, making food for my husband back at home. I do not have the time to be around your house all dang day. Just like I have been, I'll be coming over every day to check what food you're making and see if it's any good. And any day that I'm not able to come over, do not make my son cook for you. I'll ask him to make sure that you're staying in line, because the moment you take a step out of line, I'll be on you. Annalise, are you in our house right now? Yes, I sure am. And? Aren't you at work right now, though? How would you know that I'm just getting into your house? Because I just saw you on the security camera to our house. No way! Have you been watching me this whole time? I had the camera installed a while ago to watch our cat while we were at work. If you don't like being seen through it, then stop coming into our house uninvited. If you have the money to spend on a stinky cat, then you have the money to start saving for a baby, right? Well, you are always working alongside my son, so you could never have the time to have a baby. Don't tell me that you're the kind of person that doesn't want kids. I do want kids. Then why haven't you quit your job yet and stayed at home full time? I think that women are a lot more happy being at home doing chores and raising kids rather than working a job. And I'd be happy if you left me to decide for myself when I want to have and raise kids. You saying things like that all the time will see your healthy eggs go to waste and rot away. You could have said that in a way that was a bit less horrific. Well, I'm just telling you the truth the way I see it. And another thing, what the hell is this that you've made for dinner? It looks like something someone vomited out. Are you talking about the beef stew that I've made? That's it. When I got a glance of the nasty soup sitting in that bowl, I wanted to vomit myself. When are you going to be able to cook a decent meal for my son? I'll throw this stew out as well for you today. When you get home today, you make something that's at least half decent for my son to eat. Is my husband not home right now? Huh? What do you mean? I'm talking about your son. Right now, he should be at work like you, right? Today is a Tuesday, and so the two of you should be getting into another week of work. No, today he has the day off because he had to work extra late last week and so was given today off as a present. What? So you're telling me he's home right now? I'm sure that you're going to get upset when you hear this, but today I was having my husband cook us our dinner. And my husband told me around lunch today that he had made beef stew for us to eat tonight. Stop making jokes about this. When I came into the house, the only thing here was your cat. Are you trying to get me all worked up by making up lies like that? I knew it. No, I'm telling you the truth right now. There was just a noise. Annalise, it's saying that you've seen my messages, but you're not replying to me. What happened to you? Could this mean that my husband really is there with you? Taylor, I have something that I'd love to talk with you about. Sure, what is it? Can you ask my son to take a look at some of the messages I've sent him for me? Look, I apologized to the both of you, didn't I? I even handed back that duplicate key to him, and I promised to never get on to you about anything that I don't like ever again. So let's go back to how things were when you first entered my family and be happy together. Annalise, we told you the other day how the both of us feel right now about you, right? We said that we never want to have anything to do with you ever again. But I've learned a lot from what's happened. I think that I was just being a bit too aggressive with you about being my son's wife. A bit? No, actually, I was being very aggressive with you, wasn't I? I probably should have never thrown away your guys' cooking like that. And right now, I have a lot of regrets about all of that. Keeping our duplicate key after we asked for it back and entering our house over and over uninvited was also pretty unacceptable of you. And after putting a lot of trust in you at first by letting you watch our cat while we'd been on vacation, it's a shame to see all of that trust ruined. So what you did was not okay by any means. What's the worst to me, though, is that before handing that key back to us, you made another one of it. Well, I just thought that if anything happened at your guys' house, it would be good for me to be able to let myself in there. You entering the house without our permission is a huge problem. Hey, Taylor, I'm telling you that I really have learned from all of this and will never do any of that again. So don't you think that going as far as cutting ties with me is harsh? Making a copy of the duplicate key so that you could still come into our house? And making comments about me and my cooking before throwing it out? And that last time you threw out your own son's cooking thinking it was mine? You had never actually been tasting any of that cooking from the start, had you? You just wanted to use the reason that I cooked the food as your reason for throwing it out. That's not what happened then. Before you were bragging a lot about your son, right? You said that your son could do anything and everything he cooked was always delicious. You threw away his delicious cooking, Annalise. Why would you do that if it was always supposed to taste good? Well, that last time, it didn't look all that appetizing. I'm finished here. I can see that no matter what I say to you, you have an excuse made up and ready to go. After what has happened between us this time, I no longer enjoy being around you. I think from now on, I'll only accept your husband as my in-law. Don't say such heartbreaking things. Both my husband and son have already torn into me about this, and they aren't choosing to listen to what I have to say anymore. My husband isn't even talking to me anymore now. And it's been weeks now where he doesn't listen or say anything to me. Well, that's all because of how messed up you were when you started to come into our house uninvited and criticize your sons and my cooking. I did hear one thing, though. Taylor, you're pregnant now, right? That is right, that I'm pregnant right now, but that has nothing to do with you. Well, Taylor, I was so worried about you because you focused so much on your job, and that's why I was always interested in the life that you and my son were making in that house. So I made that second duplicate key so that I could get into your house and check on you two. I just thought that if you started making better food, it would benefit the both of you and any kids you have. I did all of that to give you a little advice. Advice? How is calling my food garbage and throwing it away giving me any advice? I think I was just struggling to say the right things to you. Even after my husband and father-in-law tore you a new one, you still haven't learned any lessons, have you? I have. And that's why I'm talking to you right now. This is all too strange. Because for the last while now, all I've heard coming out of your mouth are sad excuses for why you did such horrible things. I'm sorry about that. I want to apologize to you for being so rude recently. So please try and find a way to keep my son and yourself from throwing me away. I'd love to be able to meet my grandchild when they're born, and blaming everything on me like you guys are is too much. If you didn't want to be blamed for everything like you are now, then maybe you should have shut your mouth and been a responsible adult. We trusted you up until the point that you started entering our home without our permission. I was thinking that you and I could have become even closer then. However, you have shown us your true intentions from your actions and made it clear that you don't respect my husband and I. So I don't think I'm going to bother with you anymore. Is that so? Well, if that's the case, then I have something for you. After all of the apologies I've given to you, there has still been no forgiveness. So I'm thinking that you're the messed up one in all of this. So I'm going to make it my main goal to fix that awful attitude of yours before I pass away. We aren't going to be seeing one another anymore, so how are you going to fix my attitude? Could this mean that you made more than just one duplicate key that you're still holding on to? And what if I do have more? Do you have a problem with that? We changed our lock. Then I'll break in through your windows. You guys have a single-story house, so it's not hard for me to get in there. Stop that, Annalise. We already moved out of that house, so all you're going to be doing is getting into trouble with the law. Huh? You guys moved? Yes. We understand that you still knowing where our house was meant that there was a chance of you coming back. And we're going to be having our first baby here soon. So we'd like a place where we can focus on raising our baby with no outside distractions. Where did you guys move to? Are you brain dead, Annalise? Why would I tell you that? And don't bother your husband about it because he doesn't know the address either. And if you try to come to our house in any way, my husband is going to come to you and help you understand where the line is at. Taylor, I'm sorry. No matter what you try and say about things now, it's way too late. You even started saying that you'd go as far as breaking into our house through the window. At this point, even if you told me the best apology, I'm not going to let you near us. Well, that was just because I thought I was getting into a pickle with you guys there. That wasn't meant to be anything serious. I don't think anyone would mention something like that after already entering someone's home uninvited on multiple occasions. Taylor, I promise that I'll never do anything to hurt you guys ever again. I won't even be a bother to you both anymore. So can you find it in your heart to allow me one more chance to be your mother-in-law? That chance was me replying to your texts today. I'm so sorry. I'm so frickin' sorry. I know that you were always looked at so nicely by my husband and son, and that made me jealous to the point that I wanted to pick on you a little bit. So now you're just saying that all of those things you did to me and my husband were because you're a child? I get it. I was a real idiot back then when I did all of that. So please, find any way besides throwing me away to deal with me. I'm going to make sure from now on to change my heart and become the best mother-in-law ever. No matter what you say to me, you are not going to change the idea that you cemented in my mind of you. I'm throwing out the trash here. You had your last chance a second ago to tell me that all of this was because you're a child. But instead you wasted my time with all your crappy excuses. Well, your time is up now, and I need to make sure that my family never has to deal with you in the future. After that, I never received any more calls or texts from Annalise. I think I made it very clear to her that my mind was not going to be changed, no matter what kinds of weak excuses she threw at me, and so I blocked her. I never thought that anyone would try and make more copies of a duplicate key to be able to enter someone's home whenever they pleased. And after the way she did that and proceeded to complain about me, I am in shock. But after having both my husband and hers team up on her to tell her just how horrible of a person she is, she started to slip from the position she once had as my mother-in-law, and was worried about what would happen next to her. I really wanted things between her and I to work out since I never had a mother-in-law before, but now I think my days of worrying about becoming closer to her are over. She said that she thought that I'd be a good wife to her son at first, and that's why she let us get married, but to be honest, I don't think she ever thought that of me. I feel that if she would have just been honest to me about what she wanted instead of taking the worst path possible, then things would have never gotten this bad. But even now, my husband and father-in-law tell me that I don't have to change my ways for anyone's approval, besides my own, and that I'm an excellent wife. Right now, Annalise is very quiet and keeps to herself, while only doing chores around the house before settling down. Her husband is still being very distant from her and never talks to or listens to her, even when she begins to cry for him to listen. But by the age they are now, I feel he's right for not bothering with her, and it almost surprises me that he didn't leave her in general after what she'd done. I guess for now, she'd be best off just continuing to keep quiet like she has and doing all the chores and cooking for him. Now it's been a couple of months since we moved houses, and I'm starting to go on my maternal leave from work. And with the free time I'll have now, I'm going to start getting myself prepared for having a baby and getting all the necessities. I'm never going to let Annalise meet with her grandchild when they're born, but I'll gladly take anything she gives me for the baby as long as she hands it to her husband to bring to me. Even though right now I'm primarily thinking about the baby and giving birth to it and all of that, I think down the road I might rethink things with Annalise. So hopefully by that point in the future, she has really grown up a bit and can show me and her family that she's ready to be a part of the family again. But enough of that kind of talk, as right now I'm only going to think about my husband and soon-to-be-born baby. And while I'm on the path to giving birth, I'll be thanking all of those that helped me along the way, and will do everything I can to do what I can.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Mom, what's going on here? You've already reached the limit this month already. What are you even spending so much on?
What limit are you talking about here? Seriously, Sophie, you never explain what you mean properly. Tell me,
What do you want to say in a way I can't understand what you're talking about? I'm talking about the credit card spending limit. That should be obvious. Why did you spend so much this month?
oh, is that really what you meant? You could have just said that straight away.
There was just a little something that I needed to buy, so I used the card. And what is that little something?
Does it really matter? Why do you care?
It's my choice what I spend money on, isn't it? Why do I need to go out of my way to tell you every little thing I buy and why I bought it? That would be fine if you were the one who was paying back the credit card, but it's Peter and I who are the ones doing that. That's why I'm telling you to stop wasting money on useless things.
God, you're so annoying about this. You need to stop worrying so much about all of these little things. Mark never complained about any of this when I was living with him, you know. It was so much more enjoyable with him than here with you. Can't you take a leaf out of this book? You should be more like him.
You want me to take a leaf out of Mark's book? He was the one who left you with all the debt and ran off. Of course he didn't care about your spending habits. You were the one who came crying to us to help you. So how can you even say that I should be more like him?
Is that how it is? It all happened so long ago, I don't really remember what happened anymore.
Listen here, Mom. We paid back the entire credit card debt for you. And not only that, we even let you move in with us and are paying for your monthly expenses. I don't want to hear that you've forgotten all that. Don't you even feel a shred of gratitude to us?
Oh, just give it up already. Why do you even have to keep bringing that up again and again? That happened a long time ago, so you need to put it to rest. And you always do this, you know. One small thing happens and then you start blaming everyone.
I'm telling you this because I'm worried about you too, you know. We've helped you out a bunch in the past, haven't we? Can't you at least try to understand where we're coming from?
Oh yeah, thank you so much. I'm so glad that I have a daughter who complains to me every day about every tiny thing I do. I couldn't be happier, thanks to you and all your help. I get to live a miserable life every day. Lucky me. I'm really so grateful to you for all of it.
Oh my God, why do you have to take this kind of attitude? I'm asking you nicely not to act that in front of Peter. All you do is complain to him about everything. The money we give you to spend and just living in general together. You need to stop doing that.
Ah, here we go again. I'm the bad guy and you need to tell me off. Living with Mark really was so much better than with you. I wish I could move out and live with him again.
Look, I know that you love him as your son and that you prefer him to me in every way. But as your daughter, I can't agree with you doing that.
Why is that? What's wrong with Mark? Are you saying that because he broke off contact with us? Or are you saying that it's impossible for me to do that because we don't know where he is right now?
Well, both of those things obviously does make it impossible, but that's not what I meant. Even if you knew where he was, it would all just end the same as it did last time. Do you want to be up to your ears in debt again?
Of course I don't. Who would want that?
That's exactly what I'm saying, right? So then just forget about Mark already. If you don't, it will definitely happen to you again if he comes back.
Well, I don't think it will, but you can just help me out again if that happens. So I don't really see the issue here.
Come on, give me a break already. You might be my mom, but there's a limit to everything. Being thankful to you for raising me isn't going to last forever, you know? Those feelings aren't limitless.
Yeah, whatever. You always say that, but always end up helping me anyway. I know you, and I know you wouldn't leave me out to dry. You love me and will always look after me.
Are you really sure about that? Because I wouldn't. But enough talk about that anyway.
Oh, are you getting embarrassed talking about that? You know you have never been one to really listen to me, ever since you were a kid. But still, that's a thing about you that I think is almost cute.
That's not important right now. I'm just telling you that you need to think about how you spend money. If you do that, then I won't have to complain to you all the time. Just get it together, will you? Please. I'm sick of having to do this over and over again.
Sophie, sorry to message you while you're at work, but I want you and Peter to move out of the house. In the next few days would be best actually. If you're busy, I can help you pack all your stuff so you can leave faster.
What's this all of a sudden? What are you even talking about? Why would we leave anywhere?
Mark is going to come back and I decided that the two of us will live in this house together.
What? Mark is back again?
Yeah, isn't that great? I couldn't be happier to see him again.
Just a little while ago, he contacted me out of the blue and said that there were some things he needed, and if I bought them for him, then he would come back home. Is that why you used the credit card for then?
Well, yeah, he asked me so I couldn't exactly refuse, could I? He's my son after all, and then one thing led to another, and he's coming to move in now. What? Was he the one who suggested living together again? No matter how you look at it, he obviously just needs the money right now. I don't care about that, even if it means we can live together again. The only thing is that he said he didn't want to live here if you were around. That's why I need you to move out immediately, for Mark. Are you being serious right now? Of course I am. It makes sense for a mother to look after her oldest kid, and you're always so annoying as well. It would be better for me as well if you weren't around. Oh, really? Well then fine. I'll leave as soon as possible. You better not regret this later. I don't want you to come running back for help afterwards. Why would I ever regret this? Living with Mark isn't boring like it is with you. My wish actually came true. I'll say this just once. I don't agree with what you're doing, and I think it's a bad idea for you to live with Mark again. Nothing good will come of it. I just know it. Are you really okay with this? I told you that this is perfect for me. Don't go ahead making pointless predictions. Well, if you think like that, fine. It looks like you won't have any problems after Peter and I move out, so we can move out without any worries. Please, just do that. Mark is finally coming back home and I don't need anything to get in the way of that. I see how it is. Well, we'll leave, but I'm going to need a little bit of time at least. We don't even have anywhere that we could go to right away. What do you mean you don't have anywhere to stay? Why not just move to live with Peter's parents? Then you can move immediately and Mark can also come right away. There's no way we can do that. We haven't talked to them about this at all, and we can't just disrupt their lives for something stupid like this. What? So what? I told you to leave right away, and now you want to put it off? Are you trying to talk your way out of it now? What if Mark doesn't come back because of this? Is that your plan? If that's enough to stop him from coming back, then he would just leave soon enough no matter what. Well, maybe. Don't worry about it. We will be out of your hair soon enough. I'll ask some friends to help and we should be able to find a place pretty quickly. I can't do much more than that right now. Fine, I get it. Just try and find somewhere as soon as you can. At least do that for me. Sophie, what's going on? You need to stop Peter. He won't listen to a word I say to him. What am I supposed to do to stop him from doing? He's just explaining to the movers what they need to take, isn't he? Everything's going just as he wanted when we're finally moving out. Why would I stop him now? The problem is what he's telling the movers to take. All of the furniture and the white goods too. Are you planning on taking everything out of this house? Yeah, and so what? I don't see the problem here. How can you not? If you take everything, what are Mark and I supposed to do? What are you talking about? Peter and I were the ones who bought all of the furniture. I think it's pretty normal to take all of your things with you when you move. Even if you did buy it all, Mark and I won't be able to do anything if the house is completely empty. I don't care about that. It's not our problem whether you can do anything or not, or what your life may be like after we move. I don't need you coming to me with your problems. What? Are you serious? You know what you're doing is going to make life more difficult for your mother, and you still don't care about it? What's going on here? That's not how a child is supposed to treat parents. Who do you think you are to treat me like this? Show me some respect. If you're going to try and use that logic, then I can say the exact same thing. What? How? You can't say that to me. It's not easy or cheap to just get up and move out of the house. But you still rushed us out and asked to leave for some stupid, selfish reason. How much do you think it would cost if needed to buy replacements for all this furniture? Peter and I can't handle so many sudden expenses. You two have the money for it, don't you? So there shouldn't be a problem. The money isn't the main problem. It's that you one-sidedly kicked out your own daughter, and on top of that, you also want to steal all of my things. It's not something a parent is supposed to do. You're in no position to complain about anything I do. But I'm the one in a bad financial situation, much worse than you. You two should just give this stuff up, because you are still in the position to buy new stuff. That's why you have always helped me out till now, isn't it? That's just because you're my mom. I didn't want to just leave you on your own and then something happened. I was worried about you, and since it's just been about money, I've been patient with you. Then it should be fine to leave everything now, no? This is the same kind of thing before. I already told you this before.
Gratitude towards you for raising me isn't endless.
And so what of it? That has nothing to do with what we're talking about right now.
Of course it does. I have no more feelings or love towards you now. And since we're going to be moving out, all expenses from now are your own. You have to figure it out on your own. I'm sure two grown adults can work something out.
How can you be so selfish? Mark is coming back because he's relying on me, you know? What am I supposed to tell him if he comes back to this?
I don't know. You can tell him sorry, I guess. This is all your fault after all.
How can you be so irresponsible?
Because I'm your daughter, that's why. And I don't have any responsibility for you and Mark.
It's your fault if he comes here and gets angry. Are you okay with that?
I don't care what a person who I will never see again has to say to me. Anyway, good luck. Make sure you don't complain and try to work it out on your own. It's your house now, so the two of you deal with it. Good luck living together. Mom, I keep getting a whole load of calls from an unknown number. Is this Mark's doing?
That's because you won't answer your phone. Mark is absolutely wild with rage right now.
And why is that?
It seems like he racked up a lot of debt again while he was off by himself, and he came home because of his financial situation. But then he had to come back to a situation that is almost as bad as his. He's freaking out not knowing what to do.
I knew that this would be the case. I just knew that he would be in debt again. He really never learns his lessons.
Why are you talking to him as though it doesn't matter to you? It's all your fault for taking everything from the house when you left.
You're the one who needs to learn your lesson. I already explained to you that we didn't do anything wrong, didn't I? All we did was take the things that we had bought ourselves. There was nothing else we could do anyway, because you told us to leave so suddenly, and the debt that Mark has it all his own fault. Everything is the fault of you two, don't you think?
Here you go with the same thing again. I already know, though.
You know? What do you know?
That you will end up helping me again this time, too. You said yourself that you didn't agree with leaving in the first place, so you'll come back, won't you?
What kind of dumb joke is this? You were the one who kicked us out in the first place, and now you think we will just come running back? Why would we do that?
Because your mom is in trouble and needs your help. You're not going to just leave me like this. I know I raised a good kid. You wouldn't do something like that, would you?
You really are incredibly naive. You might be my mom, but it's pathetic to see.
Well, you helped me out last time, right? So it makes sense that you would help me this time as well.
This is a completely different situation to before. Let me tell you this clearly so that you understand. I have run out of love and feelings for you. I'm not going to help you this time or anymore at all.
It would be wrong of a child to abandon her mom in a state like this. And you're a smart girl, so you do understand that. So you know what you should do, don't you?
Between helping you last time and you kicking me out of the house afterwards, I have no more duty towards you as my mom. It's all been used up. You need to understand that I just give up asking me already.
Fine, I understand. I realize you won't come back. But then in exchange, at least pay me enough per month to live.
No, why would I do that? Sort this out for yourselves.
Listen here, Sophie. I just listened to all of your selfish reasons about why you don't want to come back here. So now, it's obvious that you need to listen to what I'm saying to you.
God, you just sound so stupid right now. Why should I have to take care of my mom and brother who I neither love nor care about anymore? I'm telling you as clearly as I can that it's not happening. It's impossible.
There's nothing impossible about it. If you don't help me out, then Mark is going to be really angry at me. Don't you care about that?
I told you that I don't. You're the one who wanted to live with him in the first place.
Sophie, please. Neither of us have anyone but you who can we rely on.
We're family, aren't we? How can you leave us like this? Please, help me out this one last time. If you have time to beg me for the same thing over and over again, then use that time to do something on your own. If living with him becomes as boring as you thought it was living with me, then there's no point of any of this for you, is there? I don't plan on interfering with your lifestyles at all. Have fun, you two. Your favorite son has come back to you, so there's no need for your annoying daughter anymore, right? After I sent my mom that last message, I blocked her number and never messaged her again. In the end, her and Mark were not able to do anything to fix their financial situation and had to sell the house. They were able to somehow survive for a little while with the money that they got from the sale of the property, but because of the debt repayments that Mark was saddled with, that money didn't last too long either. Mom had to get a job again, despite her old age, and even Mark found some part-time job and worked day and night. Even now, he's still having to pay off his debt and interest payments and will probably have to keep doing so for the foreseeable future. Conversely, since Peter and I were able to get away from the two of them, and we no longer have to pay for Mom's expenses, we have actually been able to save a lot more money than before. When my mom was still living with us and we were struggling to save up money, Peter and I almost given up on being able to have a child for a long time, since we wouldn't have the means to support one. But now that we have some breathing room, we were finally able to start thinking about beginning a family again. And then, after a while, being just the two of us, we finally said hello to the beautiful baby girl that we brought into this world. Now, my husband, my newborn daughter, and I are living very happily together. When she grows up, the way my mom and brother did things will